All this luggage must mean somebody's going on a trip. Guess where? New Zealand, baby. It's gonna be unbelievable. It's gonna be delicious.
I'm out of paper towel.
Look at that.
You can make it. Who doesn't want that?
Oh. And so you jump aboard your Air New Zealand flight to Middle Earth, and off you go. All right, here's what I'm learning. If you're gonna fly almost 13 hours across the world, you might as well do it the right way. And the right way is Air New Zealand. Let me tell you something. They want your New Zealand experience not to start when you get there, but to start when you get on the plane. The best part, the people, full on New Zealand hospitality right here on the plane. These guys are fabulous. Fabulous, I say. And the fabulous in-flight service director, Jim, even taught me about New Zealand wines. And you know it's a long flight, so you rest a little, you read a little bit, you play around a little. And you, well, never mind. And so, after a 12-hour Air New Zealand flight, I think I look pretty good. Rested, refreshed, and here we are in Auckland. I just put my windshield wipers on, trying to put my left turn signal on. Those are reversed. My real fear is that I'm gonna turn into oncoming traffic. I did it again. I just put the windshield wipers on to turn. That's the third time. Yes, the windshield wipers are on because I keep, they're where the turn signal is in a regular car. Fine, I don't want to talk about it. A great way to learn about people and their food is by going to where the locals hang out. So I headed to Avondale, an open-air weekend market.
It has everything that you want in food. Fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, fresh meats.
Maori chef Edna Sterling was my guide as we checked things out. Totally had fun looking at the fruits and vegetables. Ah yes, the boil-up. Sort of a New Zealand pork stew kind of thing. That's what you want to see, that right there.
That's just putting in the doughboys. Yep.
Dumplings.
The doughboys into the.
Yeah.
And you've got your pork backbones.
This is my first ever boil-up.
And then you have your
Potatoes, nice. Okay, so at this point I'm thinking, it's maybe not the best looking thing I've ever seen, but I'm definitely dying to try it.
Well, just eat from the top and then you can work your way around it.
So here's a bite of pork. Oh, you know what? I really like that.
So this boil-up is traditionally called a Maori cuisine.
Now it is.
Now it is.
Not to be confused with a piss-up,
Exactly.
which is a whole different thing, right?
Although this food is the ideal remedy for after
A piss-up?
a piss-up.
So it might not be the official food, but I was very pleased to come across a New Zealand favorite. One of the things they like a lot here are their pies. And I'm not talking like peach and blueberry, I'm talking pies with meat in them. They call a hamburger mince, but like lamb and curry and steak and mushroom. This one right here, this is mince, cheese, and baked bean. That's pretty good. And of course, I had to start tasting. I had steak pies, I had lamb pies, I had curried lamb pies, I had mince and cheese pies. And just in case you were wondering, yeah, my problems eating did follow me all the way to New Zealand. Oh! It's a lethal frickin' weapon. Come on. Come on. That's not even funny now. All right. I need a napkin.
I need to do that again.
It's a pie disaster. Can you give me a napkin, man? I can't even go in there looking like this. Flight 2349, Air New Zealand, Auckland to Rotorua. And as my trip to amazing New Zealand continues, I'm on a little plane headed for Rotorua, spiritual home of the Maori people. The place is full of thermal activity, steaming geysers, very smelly sulfur smell everywhere, and boiling mud. Yes, I said boiling mud. At the center of it all is Whakarewa, a living Maori village. By the way, Whakarewa It's spelled with a WH, which in Maori actually sounds like an F.
So this is a steam box that the Maori actually cook on here in the village. It's just a box that's been built over top of one of the holes where the steam just naturally comes out. And they'll lower baskets of vegetables and chicken and meat right down in here, let it cook for a couple hours, and then up it comes.
They say timing is everything, and I ran into one of the villagers on his way to finish cooking his family's dinner.
Beef stew, just mushrooms to add, and that's it. Finished. 20 minutes to be all ready.
Hold for the windy road. So here I am, back driving on the wrong side of the road to Pukeko Landing, right on Lake Tarawera, where I stayed for the night.
Can you say special? This is what New Zealand's all about.
But all that changed the next morning. And even though it was pouring down buckets, nothing was going to stop my fun.
We're gonna cook this gorgeous trout that's come right out of Lake Tarawera. But we're not just cooking it the regular old-fashioned way.
Why cook it on the grill when we can cook it in the thermal sands of Hot Water Beach?
But no fancy prep for Captain Craig and me.
Okay, it's pouring rain. It's cold, but we're at Hot Water Beach with the trout. Right, Captain?
Right, let's do it.
Let's go. And you know what's really cool? Standing right here, this is like totally hot water that my feet are in. Totally hot water. It's beautiful.
Great for dancing nested sand.
Yes. Ow!
Exactly.
I buried my foot under there.
I told you.
You said I didn't really get. I put my foot this far under the sand and it totally burned my toes. Let's go.
Think about it. We're going to bury a fish under the sand and it'll cook? That's just crazy.
Now we're talking.
And while Mr. Trout cooked, I sauteed a whole bunch of mushrooms. And look at that bacon. Don't forget, this is all on the back of a boat in New Zealand, in my bathing suit in winter.
I've had better hair days. I've definitely had better weather days, but I've not had this much fun in a day in a very long time. That was awesome. So here we are. We landed in Wellington, and I must say it was a nice flight. But the second I told anybody I was coming to Wellington, they all started going, "Oh my God, where do you see all the Lord of the Rings stuff?" And I go, "Lord of the Rings stuff?" They go, "It's all over the place. You're gonna see it everywhere. It's fantastic." I gotta tell you something. I'm looking around, I don't see a thing.
Wellington, the capital of New Zealand, has about 175,000 people. And is one of those places you just go, wow, over. It's so beautiful. As our tour rolls on, our next stop is at Citroen, and we spend some time with Air New Zealand consulting chef Rex Morgan in his tiny kitchen. And with Rex being a Maori, he likes to throw a little heritage into all of his cooking, including his desserts.
This is what we got, well, fry bread. It's an old thing my mum and aunties used to make, and it's just pretty much a basic dough. This one I put kawakawa in, which is like a bush basil.
Al Brown of Logan Brown Restaurant actually puts on a wetsuit and heads into the ocean for powa, abalone in Kiwi speak. I'm standing watching as he's catching lunch, and within minutes, he's back with his catch as a Wellington newspaper crew watches. He even brought up a crab and a starfish, just for show. And after a very quick saute by Al, it was done and served on white bread. Honestly, white bread.
How crazy is that?
Pretty fresh, huh?
Oh, you're not kidding.
Huh?
Okay, ready?
Welcome to Wellington.
Yeah, thanks
To the
very
fresh
much.
power.
Here we go.
The result?
Beautiful.
Bit more juice.
Beautiful doesn't cover it.
That powa sandwich on the beach at Island Bay was absolutely one of the highlights of my trip. But come to think of it, there were a lot of highlights of my trip to New Zealand. It's a fabulous place that I'll always remember. People,
And they were very sweet.
My name's Charles Royal.
the places,
But look it, the traffic is on the wrong side. You're on the wrong side of the street.
Avondale Market's been around for as long as I've been here.
Standing in front of the Gold Star Bakery for more pies.
and of course the food.
Look at the color of that. That's an egg yolk.
Well, just eat from the top and then you can work your way around it.
Check these out. Here's a green one we know. Here's a golden one.
But no matter where you go in the world, it's always good to come home.
And I mean, really good.
Sam, the cooking guy down under, was made possible with heaps of assistance from Tourism New Zealand and Air New Zealand. And for more about my trip, check our websites, fox6.com, upn13sandiego.com, and ctn.org.
Ask how it is.
How is it?
It's a little low. I might hit my head on it. Stupid
Okay.
show. And we've won 4 Emmys because of stuff like that.
Well, this is the first day of rain we've had in about 5 years, actually, Sam. So just happens that you happened to turn up when it was raining.
We have an expression in America for that. Bull.
Exactly.
We have a similar one in New Zealand.
And that is, you can't bullshit the bullshit.
Sam, where we
You're the
going?
one worrying about light. We're going
No,
straight
I
to
wanna
the
be in
restaurant.
too.
We're going straight to the restaurant. You
He's
just need-
always in the video. He's always in. I want to be in.
Where are we going, Sam?
Oh, so I'm gonna be in it.
Ruda, that's the name.
Hi, I'm Bob Goldstein. And when I'm looking for a bank, I don't look any further than ASB.